The views and opinions expressed in the DILLIGAF podcast are those of the host alone and are not intended to express those of any other person, business, or entity. The DILLIGAF podcast is for entertainment only. These are my opinions and should not be interpreted as facts or advice. Think for yourself.
Keeps you up at night, yeah. Make all the demons quiet, yeah. We were built to thrive, yeah. I think that we've all had enough, yeah. I think that we've all had enough. Sick of dealing with the old plan. They know that we're calling it wrong. You got me like, oh, yeah. I think that we've all had enough.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the DILLIGAF podcast, talking about anything and everything that interests me. If it makes me think, laugh, cry, scream, rage, or say, what the fuck, you're going to hear about it. My name's Tom. I'm your host. This show will be dropping on Saturday, July 6th, but right now, as I'm recording it, it is July 4th, so happy Independence Day to all of those who celebrate it. Hope everybody, is safe today. Don't blow yourselves up or anything. Enjoy the fireworks and the holiday and all that kind of fun stuff. I want to thank everybody for watching or listening on Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcast from. And this will be the first episode to be posted in its entirety on TikTok, since they allow up to 60-minute videos now. So we'll see how that works out. But make sure you're following. Follow, like, subscribe, share, rate, comment, all that kind of good stuff. That all helps out the show. Make sure you're following on social media on all platforms. You can find the show at DILLIGAF_pod on all socials. And you can find all of that on my Linktree, which is Linktree/DILLIGAF_pod, or scan this QR code right here in the corner of your screen if you're watching the video. And if you ever want to shoot me an email, it's dilligafpod@gmail.com. So we got a fun one today. We are talking about the 10 Commandments and the Bible in the classroom. Some crazy shit going on last few weeks. We got Louisiana passing a law that says the 10 Commandments has to be posted in every public school classroom, like poster sized, whatever that means. I don't know if they specify exact dimensions, but it's got to be poster sized on the wall in every single public school classroom. And now we've got Oklahoma saying that the Bible has to be taught in public schools. Have these people not heard of the First Amendment? That's my first question. I mean, it's literally the first sentence in the First Amendment. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Does that just not compute with Louisiana and Oklahoma? I mean, it's pretty plain. It says that the government cannot make any law establishing an official religion in the United States. You can't favor one religion over the other. And this clearly violates that, because obviously the 10 Commandments, the Bible, those are Christian things. So this, obviously is favoring Christianity over every other religion. And another thing that is kind of puzzling to me, okay, you have to have the 10 Commandments in Louisiana, you have to teach the Bible in Oklahoma. Which version? Because Christians can't even agree with each other. Okay, you got two different places in let's just say like the King James Bible. You got two different places where the 10 Commandments are talked about in the book of Exodus. You got Exodus 20 and Exodus 34, I think it is. Exodus 20, thou shalt not kill, blah, 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 all that stuff. And Moses comes down, they're worshiping a freaking golden cow or whatever. He gets pissed and smashes them. And he has to walk back up the mountain and get them again. And he gets a different version. So which one of those are we, are we posting up there? And then, if you go between the King James Bible and say a Catholic Bible, they're different. So which version are we posting? And same thing with the Bible. Do you have any idea how many different versions of the Christian Bible there are? It all depends what denomination you're talking about. There's thousands of different denominations of Christianity. They all fall under the Christian umbrella, but there's thousands of denominations and they can't agree with each other, and it's ridiculous to me. So that right there, I mean, and then as far as the Bible, well, how are we teaching the Bible? Are we teaching it from a theological standpoint, from a historical standpoint, from a literature standpoint? You know, because if you're teaching from a, a a literary standpoint, you're, you know, just teaching about as a book in and of it, in and of itself, not as God's word, God's law, or any of that crap, I might be okay with it. If you're just teaching it as a book, a storybook, which is exactly what it is. You know, if you're teaching it from that aspect, okay. I mean, you know, people like to say all the time, best-selling book of all time. Yeah, okay, it is. So if you want to teach about it from a literary standpoint, that might be the only acceptable way to teach about it. You know, but if they expect it to be taught from a theological standpoint, number one, public school teachers are not qualified. They have no training in that aspect. So something's going to get messed up somewhere. You know, that would be like me trying to go teach somebody how to be an electrician. I'm not qualified. You know, a public school teacher is not qualified to teach theology. You know, but if they expect them to teach about this as history, I'm sorry, that's just fucking stupid. You know, not a single thing in the Bible has ever been proven to be true or factual. Let me specify there. Nothing in there has been proven to be factual. Okay, truth is a point of view. Truth is something you feel in yourself. You know, just because something is true for this person doesn't mean it's true for me or for that person or for that person. You know, for most Christians, Jesus is the Son of God. That's their truth. That's fine. That's a belief. That's what a truth is. It's a belief. It's a personally held belief. You know, I don't hold that belief. Okay, in case you haven't figured it out, I'm not a Christian. I don't do religion. In fact, okay, I'm gonna catch some flack for this. I hate religion. Hate it. I think it should be outlawed altogether because it is the single most divisive thing that the human race has ever come up with. All it does is divide people. Okay, so many people throughout history have died in the name of religion that it is obscene. You know, so why? I don't know. To me, my opinion, all religions, past, present, and future, every single organization that calls itself a religion, considers itself a religion, is a cult. All of them, without exception. Okay, because you have some person at the head of it, either claiming to be God, claiming to be some kind of Messiah, or claiming to be able to communicate with whatever God they happen to believe in. Bullshit. And that's every religion. If you're talking about Catholicism, that person is the Pope. Sorry, the Pope's a cult leader. That's how it is. If you're talking about Christianity in general, well, the first person in that list of leaders was Jesus. I'm sorry. He was a cult leader. He started a new cult, which is still existing today. So that's my opinion on religion. Like I said, these are my opinions. Disclaimers at the beginning of the show. These are my opinions. If you don't like them, oh well. Think for yourself. Form your own opinions. But yeah, I mean, you know, getting back to the point here, the Ten Commandments in the Bible in the classroom. I mean, this issue was settled back in 1980 by the Supreme Court. It was a case called Stone versus Graham. They ruled that Kentucky could not post the Ten Commandments in classrooms. Why the hell does Louisiana or Oklahoma think is going to be any different for them? So it makes no sense to me. It all this does is alienate people who are not Christian. So if there happen to be any Jewish kids in these classrooms, any Muslim kids in these classrooms, whatever, obviously those are the three biggest religions on earth, Christianity, Judaism, and Islam. If there happen to be maybe there's Hindu kids in the classroom or Buddhist or who knows? There's literally 5,000 plus religions in this world, and then different subgroups under each one of those different denominations. Like I said, Christianity has, I think, 40,000 different denominations. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's the number I remember reading. But like I said, religion is the most divisive thing humanity has ever created. And make no mistake, religion was created by people who wanted to have control over other people. Like, oh, this is the word of God, and he gave it to me, so you have to listen to me now. Get the fuck out of here. And and getting back to the cult thing, you like I said, you've got this charismatic leader who claims to be some type of, you know, deity, or claims to be mystical in some sort of way that makes them like godlike or puts them on the same level as a god. And they get people to just blindly follow them and believe the most outlandish, ridiculous shit. It baffles me. And don't get me wrong, when I was younger, I was, you know, I'm not gonna say I was indoctrinated, but they tried. They damn sure tried. I was made to go to church up until I was about 12 years old, and then finally started thinking for myself, like, I really am not feeling this. I don't want to do this anymore. This doesn't speak to me. And you know, I will say this: most religions, at their core, the religious values that are taught in most churches are good. Even the Ten Commandments: don't kill, don't steal, don't, it's the other stuff that preaches obedience, like no other gods before me, and no graven images, and blah 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 blah, all the shit that's about control and obedience and punishment and guilt. And fuck off. You get the hell out of here with that shit. I mean, there's all these rules and all these consequences for breaking these rules, but we have free will. Guess what? No, you don't. Free will does not exist, folks. Okay, it's not a thing. But yeah, I mean, like I said, these two things, it clearly, it is a blatant violation of the First Amendment, because they are favoring Christianity over every other religion. Now, if they said they had to have the basic tenets of every religion plastered on the walls, number one, those walls would be papered from floor to ceiling, because like I said, there's 5,000 plus different religions in this world. But if they said they had to have the basic tenets of every religion posted on the wall of the classroom, fine, then that's fair. That's not favoring one religion over the other. If they all had to be up there and all the same size, that would not violate the First Amendment, because it's not favoring one over the other. It's not establishing one as good or right or true or correct. But that's not what they're doing. I mean, hell, I'd love to see, rather than the Ten Commandments, which talk about, like I said, talks about obedience and stuff like that, obedience and control and all that kind of crap, put up the 7 tenets of the Temple of Satan. Have you ever read those? Check them out. I'm not going to list them all here. I want you guys to go look it up for yourself. The 7 tenets of the Satanic Temple. Seriously, Google it. Has nothing to do with Satan. I'll say that. Not a single thing to do with Satan. Read them. I prefer those over the 10 Commandments. To me, they make more sense. But still, even if they said, we're going to post the 7 tenets of the Satanic Temple in every classroom, it would still be violating the First Amendment because it's favoring one religion over another. And like I said, to me, religion shouldn't even be a thing. It should be outlawed and banned worldwide because it's done nothing but divide people, cause harm and death and destruction and conquest. Look at the, we're going way back in history. Look at the Crusades. How many people died during those damn things? And that was all over religion. Trying to take back the Holy Land and all this kind of crap. And even to this day, wars are fought over religious differences. And it's ridiculous. My all-time favorite comedian is a guy named George Carlin. If you've never heard of him, look him up. Specifically, just Google up George Carlin religion. And like I said, he's a comedian. So when he, did these he's passed away quite a long time ago now. But when he, did these sketches, skits, whatever you want to call them, on religion, I mean, the way he phrases it and everything is hilarious. But if you get to the core of what he's saying, he makes a lot of sense. One thing I always say about George Carlin is the greatest philosopher of the 20th century. And I will stand by that till my last breath. Because what he says is true. Religion has managed to convince people that there's an invisible man living in the sky, watching everything you do every minute of every day. And he's got this special list of 10 things he doesn't want you to do. And if you do any one of those things, he's got a special place where he's going to send you full of fire and burning and smoke and death to burn and choke forever and ever. But he loves you. Huh? And people buy this crap? Like I said, to me, the concept of religion makes no sense to me. Maybe because it's 100% based on blind faith, because there's zero actual evidence that anything religion has to teach is factual. And I think putting that into a public school classroom is dangerous in a lot of ways, because like I said, it's going to alienate people who don't follow that faith. And let's be real, kids are cruel. You're gonna be teaching these kids from childhood. I mean, if it's every public school classroom, that means you're going kindergarten on up. From the age of 5, you're going to be teaching these kids that Christianity is right and everything else is wrong. You think bullying in schools is bad now? Give it a year or so. And watch what's gonna happen when a group of Christian kids gets their hands on a Muslim kid who doesn't believe in the 10 Commandments or what the Christian Bible has to say. It's just it's taking things down a very dangerous road. It's going to put children at risk, and it's going to alienate a lot of kids. And I'm sorry, if you want your kids to learn religion, the Bible, the 10 Commandments, take them to church, send them to Sunday school, send them to a religious school. That's what those places are there for. The state, the government has no business teaching anything religious based unless you're at like a college level and you're taking a religious studies course or something like that. And again, that's at the college level. And even then, you're being taught by somebody who is qualified in that field. And it's encompassing more than just one religion. That's why it's called religious studies and not Christian studies or Muslim studies or things like that. Of course, I'm sure they have those kind of classes too, but it does not belong in every public school classroom in the state. And it's going to get overturned. It's going to. I mean, there's already people that are filing lawsuits and injunctions and all this other kind of stuff, and it's going to go before some court, and it's gonna get overturned. I mean, the precedent has already been set. You can't do that. So I think I don't know what the point of it is, honestly. The governor of Louisiana said, "Oh, um, it's something along the lines of, teaching people to respect law from the first lawgiver, Moses." First of all, prove to me Moses actually existed. Then maybe I'd give a little bit of weight to your statement. Because by all rights, by all practical, valid, historical evidence, the first person that maybe could have existed in reality from the Bible was King David. You can look that up through valid historical sources. Anything prior to that is pretty much, just made up stories. That's what the Bible is, folks. It's a collection of stories. Okay, if you hold it to be true and it somehow enriches your life and makes it better, and you're not weaponizing it against other people, then that's fine. Do your thing. Problem is, so many people do exactly that. They weaponize it. They use it to tear other people down or to harm people because they don't believe in the same invisible man. Really? That's why I say it makes no sense. And trying to indoctrinate this into children. I mean, if I was a parent in one of these states, I would be having a fit. Thankfully, my son is grown. He's out of school, so I don't have to worry about those things. And I don't live in either one of those states, but obviously it started in Louisiana and it's spreading like a virus. So accurate, but it it's stupid. It is stupid because it's never going to stand up. And it's just these particular states saying that we favor Christians over everyone else, which for a government to do is just wrong. And in this case, in this country, it is unconstitutional. So there's no way it's going to stand up. I am 100% against it. Like I said, my personal opinion, every religion is a cult. I don't care what religion it is. You talk about Scientology, Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, Hinduism, Satanism, the Satanic Temple. These are all cults. Okay, they're no different than the People's Temple, which was Jim Jones and Jonestown and drink the Kool-Aid, and they're all dead. Why? Because their master told them to. Okay, that's the problem with religion. You have typically one person who makes all the rules. That's called a dictatorship. And last I checked, we don't like those. But it disguises itself as religion, so it's okay. No, it's not. And it's all bullshit. And again, my opinion, a lot of people say I'm an atheist. I'm really not. I'm really not an atheist. I don't believe in any one particular religion. I don't think any one of them is right. Like I say, I think they all have some good things to say, some, very little. But yeah, I hate religion. I hate it. So I guess that's pretty much all I got for this week. Um, I'm sure I'll get some interesting feedback on this one, particularly from the Christian community, but that's okay. I'm used to that. But yeah, the Ten Commandments in the classroom, the Bible in the classroom, no, sorry. It legitimately is illegal. So it's never going to hold up. So, as soon as it sees the inside of a courtroom, they should. I'm not going to say they're going to, because shit is unpredictable. You never know. You're going to get an idiot judge who's going to say, yeah, you can do that. That's fine. But it should be struck down without a question, because there's already a precedent set for this. So we'll see what happens. I think it's bullshit. I'd be pulling my kid out of school and homeschooling them. But yeah, you can't do that, folks. You can't push one religion over the other as a government entity. It just doesn't work that way. That's not, and people will say, oh, the US is a Christian nation. No, it's fucking not. It was not founded on Christianity. It was founded on the idea of religious freedom. Meaning practice whatever fucking religion you want. Personally, I'd say practice none. Your life will be a lot easier. Because, yeah, like I said, it just makes no sense to me. It's, people are attacking and destroying and killing one another at times over the idea that, your invisible man is different than mine. Yeah. And half of these people have never even read whatever their religious text is. They just, hear their pastor, preacher, whatever you want to call it, talk about it, and that's their only knowledge on the subject. They don't bother looking at anything for themselves. I'd venture to bet I've read more of the Bible than most Christians have. But yeah, I hate religion, but I also find it fascinating that so many people can just follow blindly. But then they'll call other people sheep. Like, dude, that's the point where I got to just walk away. Like, because the Bible literally refers to the followers as sheep and the leader as the shepherd and all this kind of crap. Like, you read your own book? You're a sheep. It says so. And there's, again, with the Bible, there's so much contradictory information in there between the Old Testament, the New Testament, and a lot of dangerous information in there. And Christians will say, well, we don't follow the Old Testament, but they love whipping it out when it works against something that they have an issue with. God condemns homosexuality and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, God also endorses slavery, pedophilia, sexual assault. Should I keep going? And all that's in the Old Testament. It literally lays out how you should treat your slaves and, who you're allowed to enslave from conquered lands. And it's insane. Seriously, read your own book. Might decide maybe this isn't for me. Who knows? But the whole point of all of this is religion, whatever religion it is, I don't care what religion it is, has no place in a public school classroom. They can't even get American history right most of the time. And we're supposed to be teaching the Bible and the Ten Commandments. No, just no. Okay. So that's going to wrap things up. Like I said, I'm sure I'll get some interesting feedback on this episode, but I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Again, I want to thank everybody for watching or listening on YouTube or Spotify or TikTok this week, or wherever you get your podcast from. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe, share, rate, comment. All that kind of stuff really does help out the show. Follow on social media. You can find the show at DILLIGAF_pod on all socials. And my link tree is linktree/DILLIGAF_pod, or scan the little QR code right here in the corner of the screen, and you'll get links to all the socials, all the podcast platforms, all that kind of fun stuff. And if you want to drop me an email, it's dilligafpod@gmail.com. And as always, well, actually, once again, I want to say, as I'm recording this on the 4th of July, happy Independence Day to those that celebrate in the U.S. Hope everybody has a great day off. Enjoy the fireworks or whatever it is that you're doing. And for anybody who doesn't celebrate it or outside the U.S., happy Thursday. And so, yeah, that's going to wrap us up for this week. But once again, if anyone has any issues with anything that I have said here today, ask yourself one question. Do I look like I give a fuck?
Retribution.